That's for sure. I don't want to hear nobody for 3 months. I'm going to Colombia. Nobody hit me up. Nobody nothing. I'm taking this ass out.
She didn't whisper it. She didn't hint at it. She said it backstage, loud enough for the entire room to freeze, and within minutes, the internet spiraled into chaos. Memes exploded. Fans laughed. Applause echoed online. But while the crowd treated it like classic Cardi humor, her estranged ex-husband allegedly reacted in a way that flipped the entire mood on its head, and it wasn't supportive. Because the rumor tearing through social media right now claims that when Offset heard about Cardi B's surgery announcement, his response was brutally simple. "Why you about to get your butt removed?" And here's the part no one is connecting yet. This isn't messy gossip. This isn't just another celebrity punchline. This is a pattern, and today, every single piece of it starts locking into place. February 16th, 2026. Night 2 of the Little Miss Drama tour inside the Kia Forum. The arena is overflowing. Then suddenly, Kehlani shocks the entire crowd with an unexpected appearance. The energy inside the building turns electric, almost unstable. And that's when the cameras quietly capture what unfolds behind the curtain. Kehlani is visibly shaken, stunned, emotional, completely caught off guard. But Cardi, true to form, doesn't hesitate. No pause. No warning. Just an announcement that drops into the room like a grenade. At first, it feels funny. Playful. Classic Cardi chaos. But this wasn't some spontaneous overshare. This was round 3 of a corrective surgery process that quietly began in 2022, and once you understand the full history behind it, the fact that Offset allegedly turned it into a joke hits in a way that feels almost cruel. Because this story doesn't begin in 2026. It starts more than a decade earlier, back when Cardi was 21. Broke. Hungry. Dancing in strip clubs just to survive. Walking into a basement and paying $800 for illegal biopolymer injections. No approval from the FDA. No medical license. No safety net. Just a young woman trying to meet beauty standards that were already stacked against her. One of the other women who went through the same procedure didn't make it off that table, something Cardi herself later revealed during a 2018 interview with GQ. Over time, those injections don't just sit still. They move. They harden. They create fibrosis, scar tissue that wraps itself around the foreign material like concrete. The damage doesn't fade. It has to be cut out. Surgically. In stages, round 1 came in 2022, nearly 95% removal. Round 2 followed in January 2024, immediately after filming the Like What video. And now, after the tour ends, she's heading back to Colombia for round 3. 3 months completely off the grid for recovery. This isn't vanity. This is damage control. This is a woman undoing a medically dangerous decision she made while trying to survive at 21, and she's been transparent about every step. So when Offset allegedly responded with mockery after hearing the news. The internet didn't laugh this time. The rumor spreading online describes his reaction as cold, dismissive, almost detached. "Why you about to get your butt removed?" There's no official confirmation, no statement from his team. But social media isn't treating this like a one-off moment anymore. They're treating it like a pattern, because to them, it is. And then he dropped an entire track that made things even worse. He didn't just hint at it either, he put it into music. Then he pulled up to the Breakfast Club and reportedly aired every grievance he had left. Word is, he turned down a $10 million settlement because he's allegedly demanding half of everything: her assets, her properties, her empire. Sources even claim he pushed for her to cover his tax bills too. And according to Cardi B herself, that's exactly why the divorce is still dragging through the courts. Pause on that for a second. This is a man who allegedly cheated throughout their marriage, who she says put her under so much stress during her 3rd pregnancy that their baby was born weighing just 5 pounds, and now he's reportedly in court asking for half her net worth. After allegedly reacting to her medical announcement with mockery. The online backlash was immediate, and it was brutal. Here's the thing about Cardi B, she doesn't always fire back with words. Sometimes, her silence lands louder than a speech. She already sensed the shift long before any of this went public. She felt the energy changing. And while Offset is allegedly turning her health journey into content, she's stepping onto sold-out stages night after night, preparing to return to Colombia to heal on her own terms. That's the statement. She's no longer allowing him to exist inside her storyline. And the audience, millions watching the tour, streaming the album, replaying that viral backstage moment, understood it instantly. Now zoom out, because this moment cuts deeper than divorce drama. Cardi B got illegal injections at 21 because she didn't have options. She's spent the last 4 years undoing that decision, publicly, honestly, without spin. She warned younger girls. She went live on Instagram. She sat down for the Call Her Daddy interview. She used her voice to stop other women from making the same survival choices she once made under pressure. She could have hidden every procedure, disappeared quietly for 3 months, and come back claiming a diet change or a fitness reset. But she didn't. She chose transparency. Every single time. And now, the man she spent 6 years building a life with has allegedly decided that honesty deserves ridicule. When Kalani complimented the most impressive figure she'd ever seen, Cardi didn't flinch. Calm, centered, untouchable. Yeah, after the tour, I'm taking some out. That's control. That's ownership over her own body and narrative. Offset doesn't get to rewrite that. He doesn't get access to it anymore. Right now, Cardi B is touring through April 2026, 35 cities deep, behind the Am I the Drama era. And yes, the title is doing a lot of heavy lifting this week. Once the final show ends, she disappears. Back to Colombia. 3 months. Off the grid. Round 3 of removal surgery. Her timeline. Her decision. The divorce remains unfinished. He allegedly still wants half. She's reportedly done negotiating. And her situation with Stefon, the father of her son, born November 2025, is rumored to be rocky after both of them unfollowed each other following the Super Bowl. She hasn't addressed it beyond saying she's focused on herself. That's the public version. But the receipts and every sold-out arena on this tour seem to suggest there's more beneath the surface. Cardi B started in a basement at 21 with an $800 injection that nearly cost her everything. She went on to build a Grammy-winning career. She's spent years reversing the physical consequences of that chapter, openly, fearlessly, on her own terms. If Offset wants to laugh at that, that's his decision. She'll be in Colombia healing. He'll be waiting on a payout that may never arrive, and that's the only tea that really matters. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next one.
I don't want to hear nobody for 3 months. I'm going to Colombia. Nobody hit me up. Nobody nothing. I'm taking this ass.
She didn't murmur it quietly in the corner. She said it backstage, out loud, in front of everyone, and the internet immediately lost its mind. While fans were laughing, cheering, and clapping at what felt like another classic Cardi B moment, her estranged ex-husband allegedly had a completely different reaction behind the scenes, and it wasn't even remotely supportive. Because the rumor racing across timelines right now claims that when Offset heard about Cardi's surgery announcement, he reportedly responded with, "Why you about to get your butt removed?" But here's the connection almost nobody is making yet. This isn't just messy drama. This is a pattern. And today, every piece of it starts snapping into place. February 16th, 2026, Night 2 of Card's Little Miss Drama Tour at the Kia Forum in Inglewood. The building is packed to capacity. Then suddenly, Kalani surprises the entire arena. The atmosphere turns electric, almost volatile. And that's when the cameras quietly catch what's unfolding backstage. Kalani is visibly shaken, stunned into disbelief. And Cardi, being exactly who she is, doesn't even blink before casually dropping the announcement like it's nothing. At first, it lands like a joke, lighthearted, playful, signature Cardi energy. But this is actually round 3 of a corrective surgical process that quietly began back in 2022. And when you understand the full history behind it, the fact that Offset allegedly reduced it to a punchline hits in a completely different way, because this story doesn't begin in 2026. It began over a decade ago, when Cardi was just 21. Broke, determined, dancing in clubs to survive. Walking into a basement to get illegal biopolymer injections $4 $800. No approval from the FDA. No licensed professional. No safety net. Just a young woman trying to meet beauty standards that were stacked against her from day one. One of that same injector's other patients died on the table, something Cardi herself later revealed in a 2018 interview with GQ. Those injections don't just stay put either. They can migrate through the body over time. They cause fibrosis, hardened scar tissue that builds up around the foreign material like armor. And that damage doesn't disappear. It has to be surgically removed, piece by piece, in rounds. Round 1 came in 2022, with roughly 95% removed. Round 2 happened in January 2024, right after filming the Like What video. And now, after the tour wraps, she's heading back to Colombia for round 3, full recovery. 3 months completely off the grid. This isn't cosmetic vanity. This is a woman correcting a medically dangerous decision she made while struggling at 21, and she's been fully transparent about every step. So when Offset allegedly heard the announcement and reacted with mockery, the internet didn't take it lightly. The rumor circulating across social media describes his response as simple and cold. "Why you about to get your butt removed?" No official confirmation. No statement from his team. But online, this isn't being treated like an isolated moment anymore. They're calling it a pattern because to them, it is. He even dropped an entire track about it and went on The Breakfast Club to air grievances. He allegedly rejected a $10 million settlement offer because he wants half of everything, her assets, her properties. Sources claim he even demanded she cover his taxes. And according to Cardi herself, that's exactly why the divorce still isn't finalized. Let that sit for a second. This is a man who allegedly cheated throughout their marriage, who she says stressed her so severely during her third pregnancy that their baby was born weighing just 5 pounds. And who is now reportedly in court demanding half her net worth after responding to her medical announcement with ridicule. The online reactions weren't kind to him at all. Here's the truth about Cardi B. She doesn't always need words to respond. Sometimes her energy speaks louder than any statement ever could. She sensed it before any of this even went public. She had already clocked the shift in his behavior. And while he's allegedly turning her health journey into content, she's standing on stage selling out arenas, preparing to go to Colombia and heal herself entirely on her own terms. I'm taking this ass.